Marshall guard Jon Elmore reacts after making a three-pointer, the staple of his team's offense. Dennis Portway 8p. Marshall's upset of fourth-seeded Wichita State on Friday afternoon was one of the biggest surprises of the NCAA tournament's first 2 days, and yet Marshall's style of play and potential East region matchups suggest that the 13th-seeded Thundering Herd might not be finished. Marshall coach Dan D'Antoni is the older brother of Houston Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni, and has spent years as an assistant with the Phoenix Suns, Los Angeles Lakers, and New York Knicks. His NBA experience directly influences D'Antoni's offensive strategy and game plan. As he told me last year, if you're not the most athletic team on the floor, then you need to have the most athletic ball. That ball needs to move fast and create opportunities for you, rather than the player creating the opportunity. It allows for someone who is not quite as athletic but is skilled and understands the game to play against anybody. D'Antoni also has a strict shot chart policy that should sound familiar to modern NBA fans. The only acceptable two-point field goal is a layup, which is why, per hoopmath.com, 28% of Marshall's field goal attempts are in transition, where the Thundering Herd shoots 55%. And taking three-pointers, especially when those attempts come from the corner or above the break, is tantamount to success. The system works because D'Antoni has a team full of perimeter threats. Jared West connects on 41% from deep, and 3 other Marshall players make more than 36% from beyond the arc. Even Aiden Panava, a 6'9" forward, shoots a respectable 33%, which allows Marshall to constantly create offensive mismatches through spacing the half-court and creating driving lanes and kickouts to the perimeter, where there is almost guaranteed to be a waiting and effective three-point shooter. In Friday's 81-75 upset win, the Thundering Herd took only 8 jump shots outside the paint. Their other 52 attempts were either beyond the arc or at the rim, which enabled Marshall to score 1.12 points per possession, converting 40% from deep in the process. When you are on offense, you get to say go. And if you say go, and you don't let the opponent know when and where you are going, you'll always beat them, D'Antoni has said. The second aspect of the D'Antoni offensive philosophy is to create angles through the use of pick and rolls. The goal is to negate the opponent's athleticism by making it extremely uncomfortable to defend, and junior guard Jon Elmore, who scored 27 points against the Shockers, is a master tactician, creating angles every time he touches the ball. You make straight line drives instead of rounding those drives off, Elmore explained. In our system, you never know where we are going to try and beat you, which gives us the advantage and allows us to attack more. Since Marshall connected on 36% of its three-point attempts this season, defenses have to respect the arc, continually inching closer to the perimeter. That then creates an opening, the first angle, to penetrate and either force a 2-on-1, or kick to another player. Starting the process again. Only 2 teams, Northern Colorado and Mount St. Mary's, have run more pick-and-roll possessions than the Thundering Herd. Per Synergy Sports, Marshall scored .89 points per those possessions, which ranks 34th in Division I, and those plays fuel the Marshall offense. We run at least 1 pick-and-roll every possession, Elmore said. We don't have a set, though. All of our pick-and-rolls flow into each other. I'll come off a screen and kick it to a guy in the corner, and then we have another pick-and-roll already in motion there. Our offense is constantly flowing. Greg Marshall's Wichita State team couldn't handle that continuous action Friday. The Shockers allowed opponents to score .83 points per pick-and-roll, which ranked 279th nationally. So what happens next? Marshall's second-round opponent, West Virginia, while better than Wichita State at .76 points per pick-and-roll, has struggled containing dribble penetration and the sort of perimeter spacing caused by pick-and-rolls. Neither does West Virginia guard the three-point line very well. The Mountaineers allow teams to connect on 37% of their threes, and those same opponents have been able to get sufficient three-point attempts, 38% 3-FJ rate. Translation: West Virginia could be ripe for yet another upset. And beyond that, Alabama would be an ideal Sweet 16 foe. The Crimson Tide aren't any better at defending pick-and-roll possessions, allowing .77 points per possession, and they invite teams to take a high percentage of shots from 3. But Marshall would more likely face number 1 seed Villanova, the one team in the East region that perfectly matches up with the Herd. Jay Wright's squad utilizes several small ball lineups, each equipped to switch every action on the perimeter, .73 points per pick and roll, 110th in Division 1, and the Wildcats have the requisite foot speed to stay with Elmore and the other Marshall guards and then help off and recover as the Herd attempt to create those angles. Still, D'Antoni's squad is well positioned to stay A until next weekend. The Herd has the both talent, and the NBA-influenced game plan, to remain the ultimate Cinderella. Read more. Purdue's 7'2" center Isaac House fractures elbow, will miss remainder of NCAA tournament. Stephen F. Austin coach says his college basketball team has too many millennials. Brewer, Virginia basketball can't let one broken wrist stop it from knocking on the door. Finds teen, Young takes a final bow on a stage. Oklahoma didn't deserve Gonzaga's experience shows in victory over UNC Greensboro.